I've been using this secret for decades. Why don't they teach us this garbage in school or college? Because they're not places of higher learning. They're places of indoctrination. That's right. Here's a neat little term I bet you've never heard of before. It's called Bowdlerization. Yeah? Probably maybe two of you probably ever heard of the term Bowdlerization. Regarding via negativa and retroductive methodologies that are not directly about synthesis or theurgy, you can always tell a lot not by what people say, but by what they don't say, or what they don't want you to say or to know about. And that's particularly true today. I posted another video recently. It's a harmless video. It's about a guy that lives in Portland, Oregon. And he walks around downtown Portland. He shows you this encampment. And he points out all this other stuff walking around. And it's just undeniably 100% factual. He's like, look at this. And he shows this camp that's like walled off. And he's like pointing down. And like some people down in the camp see him. And they whip out their slingshots. And they start... That's... But anyway, I post this video on Facebook. And then it's okay for like a couple days. And then I notice it's got this thing on it that says, fact check. It's like, who's fact checking the fact checkers? In other words, there are entities that don't want you to watch that video. Which, of course, it's kind of like back in the day when they outlawed alcohol. During Prohibition, alcohol and alcoholism was like through the roof. It's the same thing with kids. Like when you tell kids, like, don't ever go in there, they want to go in there even more. Like the one way the Europeans get around kids wanting to drink alcohol is like they'll give some wine or whatever to kids, or they'll let them sip on some hards, some hard drink. Just a little bit as parents, so they can get over the stigma about, this stuff is awesome or whatever. Kind of like smoking used to be back in the day. It's like, ooh, that's forbidden. Anyway, I found it interesting that the fact checkers fact-checked that video. Anyway, it's a reference to Bowdlerization. Henrietta and Thomas Bowdler were English sister and brother who prepared and published an 1807 edition of Shakespeare's works. That was meant to be appropriate for women and little children to read for their families to get. In other words, they took out anything that was slightly offensive to puritanicals in the early 1800s, and this is where we get the term Bowdlerization. There's also a type of expurgation. There's another term you probably never heard of. Expurgation it means removing part of a written work that are offensive or objectionable. Expurgation, with its 15th century meaning of a cleansing cleansing from impurity, has a Latin root, expurgare, which means to cleanse out, to purge, or to purify. There's a difference between that and censorship, and censorship is, of course, nearly identical, but censorship is usually official, it's usually almost always politically motivated. Bowdlerization occurs in religious texts and belief systems, kind of like the Christians did when they chopped off the crotch of the naked Greek statues. They literally took a chisel and wham! Knocked off the dirty bits and put up a fig leaf. What the Catholics did anyway. But as the world's foremost expert on the Taramanada and Anatman, I found these interesting texts written by English people and Europeans that were indoctrinated by pteroideans. And what they would do is they put in the footnotes all of the terms of the positive use of Atman or Atan in Pali. This is the stuff like, this doesn't mean anything. You should disregard this passage when this occurs. This is the stuff that you want to look at, because when less than pure minds, and by that I mean evil, people don't want you to see something, that's what you should pay attention to. When it comes up that a video says fact check. This video has been fact checked. All these videos recently that have been fact checked, and you really can't believe. I mean, you want to talk about a conspiracy that is 100% true. These fact check videos, I like to mention the names of them, but since there's algorithms listening, I'm not going to mention them. These videos are not only wonderful, but they are true. And when you go to the links, it says, let's click on this link to show this video has been fact-checked. Well, the supposed fact-checking itself is not fact-checking at all, and it doesn't disprove what the video says. Like that one guy's video, he's just walking around the streets of Portland. Someone sent me the video. He shows you where this walled off. In other words, if you're ground level, you can't see it. He's on a bridge overpass, and he shows you this. Look at this. You know, look. This is where these people are coming from. It's undeniably 100% true. The guy doesn't even have an agenda that's making the video. He's just showing you the facts. There's nothing to fact check about it. It's 100% undeniably true. But this is a Bowdlerization, and if you have a wise mind, you should always keep your spidey senses, your antennas, tuned for less than wholesome people, evil, that don't want you to see stuff. It's like, don't look at this. Kind of like the Wizard of Oz. Remember when they finally get in and they see the fake projection of the wizard, and you know the dog pulls the curtain back and you see the little gimpy dude pulling the levers, and he goes, don't pay any attention to that guy behind the curtains. It's like, that's exactly what you should pay attention to. Bowdlerization is a tool that's used to expurgate or extract or be engaged in censorship of stuff that you should see. What it is that if someone were both evil and wise, they would completely gloss over it, not mention it at all. But usually evil people, of course, are not wise at all. That's why they're evil. They tell you, don't look at this stuff. And the fact that they are evil and they tell you not to look at it is the very reason why you should look at it. There's an enormous amount of metaphysical texts written by these nihilistic scholars. Don't look at this. They have a lot of really fine footnotes that give you. That's the juicy stuff. I've been through so many books that tell you, don't look at this. This doesn't mean anything. This is to be disregarded. That's the important stuff. The stuff that they disregard and tell you not to look at has been Bowdlerized, out of the text, the main corpus of the work or the article or the book. This is the one case, and I've talked about this for years, and it goes into another topic, where I tell people that as wonderful it is to read really good texts, I get more inspiration because of the wisdom that I have to read horrifically evil texts that are designed to mislead you, because I get so much inspiration by their evil. I use their evil and the stuff that they cover up as a mirror and a teaching tool to demonstrate to other people, what these people are trying to cover up, what they're trying to hide, what they're trying to Bowdlerize. So there's a great word you've probably never heard, definitely in high school or college. Maybe 2 or 3 of you have. The term is Bowdlerization. And modern-day Bowdlerization, I mean very modern, is all these videos that come up as they've been purged off the net, except for there's several websites where they're uploaded, like bandvideo.net I think is one of them. All these texts that have been purged. It's like, that's the stuff I want to know. He's like, so-and-so site, wipes away a video, a really important video. Kind of like a recent video with, a significant number of doctors. And it was wiped. But it was uploaded onto other websites where freedom still exists. That is digital Bowdlerization, where things are blatantly hidden. Yeah, but the internet still talks. It's like, oh, I can't find it there, on the big website where everybody goes. I'm going to find it. Those are such important things to look at. When people that don't deserve any trust Can you hear me? Can you read these lips? They don't want you to see stuff. That should tell you something. Means you should go look at that video. Like, why don't they want me to see that? You know, what is it about this information that these people don't want me to see? You know, I have to learn something. I might know the truth about something. Evil people, by nature of their ignorance, their nescience, their agnosis, they will blatantly, rather than like bury it like it doesn't exist, is that it will be blatantly known if you have two eyes that this has been scrubbed from the site. But the internet never forgets. Boom! And so you can find it somewhere because someone saved it. I myself have always been one of those people that, you know, I'm a big collector of information. So anyway, it's a very important topic, Bowdlerization, and I wanted to talk about it because it's something you didn't learn in high school or college. Guarantee you didn't. I know you didn't. And you should always keep your eyes peeled for that. So why don't they want me to know this stuff? You know? Sometimes stuff, obviously so, is removed because it's just so wackadoodle and it's crazy and it's just really, really, really wackadoodle craziness. Woo cuckoo. And, you know, and legitimate entities, for whatever reason, was like, you know, this stuff is just totally, undeniably crazy. It's just beyond any shadow of a doubt crazy. And that stuff is scrubbed for a different reason. That's not Bowdlerization. It's like, anyway, that's another topic altogether. But the stuff that is legitimate, you know, like a gang of doctors, real ones. It's like, yeah, we're going to scrub that. Thank God we can find it other places. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. Man, it is really hot and humid in here. Ugh, I can't stand humid weather. I don't know about you. Bye.